On October 21, 1978, a 20-year-old pilot named Frederick Valentich took off from Moorabbin Airport in Victoria, Australia, planning a routine 117-mile flight to King Island. The skies were clear, the flight path was familiar, but what happened next would become one of aviation's most enduring mysteries. Valentich was flying a Cessna 182, a single-engine aircraft well-suited for short cross-country trips. He had filed a flight plan, reported in with air traffic control, and everything seemed normal. Yet just 40 minutes into his journey, his voice crackled over the radio with a growing sense of unease. And then, he vanished without a trace. Frederick Valentich was not a seasoned aviator, but he was determined. Born in 1958 to Italian immigrants, he dreamed of becoming a commercial pilot. Friends described him as intelligent, but also prone to exaggeration. Some even said he loved the idea of mystery. He had a fascination with the unexplained, often speaking about UFOs and paranormal phenomena. While this made him an interesting conversationalist, it also led some to question his reliability. Still, on paper, he was qualified to fly. He had logged over 150 hours in the air and was working toward his commercial license. That evening, he told his father he was making a supply run to King Island. It was supposed to be a simple trip. At 6:19 p.m., Valentich contacted Melbourne Air Traffic Control. He reported his position and altitude, 4,500 feet over Bass Strait. The controller acknowledged and asked if he had any traffic in sight. Yes. Valentich replied that he didn't, but then paused. "I'm being followed by a strange aircraft," he said. The controller, assuming he meant another plane, asked for identification. Valentich's voice grew tense. "It's large, metallic, and shaped like an elongated cylinder," he replied. "And it's not an aircraft." The controller, now alert, asked for clarification. "Sir, are you sure it's not an aircraft?" Valentich responded. "It's not an aircraft." The situation escalated quickly. Valentich reported that the object was hovering above him, then moving at high speed, then approaching from the southwest. "It's playing games with me," he said, his voice tight with anxiety. "It's hovering over me again." The controller asked if the object was visible or if it was showing up on radar. The answer was no. Air traffic control saw nothing on their screens. Only Valentich could see it. He described it as having 4 bright lights and a metallic green sheen. "It's not an aircraft," he repeated. "It's unlike anything I've ever seen." At that moment, the mood shifted from routine check-in to something far more unsettling. Then came the sound. At 6:27 p.m., just 8 minutes after the first strange report, the transmission cut through. A 7-second burst of metallic scraping noise. Unnatural. Cold. Like metal being dragged across a microphone. The controller called out, asking Valentich to confirm his intentions. No response. He tried again. "Frederick, do you read?" Silence. The frequency remained open, but the pilot was gone. No mayday, no final cry, just a chilling noise, and then nothing. The last recorded words from Frederick Valentich were, "It's not an aircraft." And then, only static. A massive search was launched within hours. Australian military, Coast Guard, and civilian aircraft scoured the strait for days. They covered over 1,000 square miles of ocean. Helicopters dropped sonobuoys. Ships scanned the depths, but they found no wreckage, no oil slick. No emergency beacon, no debris of any kind. The Cessna 182 could hold nearly 3 hours of fuel, more than enough to reach King Island or divert to another airport. Yet Valentich never attempted to land, ditch, or signal for help. If he had crashed, something should have been found, but the sea gave up no answers. Some speculated that Valentich had staged his disappearance. He had spoken openly about UFOs and had even claimed to have seen one before. Could this have been a hoax? A dramatic attempt to become part of the legend he so admired? But staging a disappearance without a body, especially in a plane that was never found, would require near-perfect planning and immense risk. And if he had survived, why never come forward? Others suggested he may have become disoriented in the dark over the featureless ocean, a condition known as spatial disorientation. Pilots can lose all sense of up and down when there's no horizon, leading to fatal spiral dives. Aviation experts believe this is the most likely explanation. In darkness, over water, with no visual reference points, A pilot can unknowingly enter a steep bank or dive. Valentich may have lost control, crashed into the sea, and sunk rapidly. The strong currents of Bass Strait could have scattered or buried the wreckage. The metallic noise, possibly the sound of the plane's engine or propeller failing as it spiraled down. The object he described? A misinterpretation of lights from another aircraft, reflections, or even hallucination under stress. To many in the aviation community, this is the most plausible answer. But the public wasn't convinced. The phrase, "it's not an aircraft," echoed in headlines and UFO circles. Was it a secret military craft, a foreign drone, or something not of this world? The object's description, cylindrical, metallic, hovering, with green lights, matched classic UFO reports. Some researchers pointed to the timing. 1978 was a peak era for UFO sightings. And Valentich's background made him a perfect candidate for an encounter. Someone open to the idea, not quick to dismiss the strange. Could he have seen something real, something unacknowledged by authorities? The official report, released by the Department of Transport, concluded, "No trace of the aircraft or the pilot has been found. The cause of the incident cannot be determined due to insufficient evidence." In other words, a mystery with no resolution. The file was closed, but the questions remained. Was Valentich a victim of the elements? A man who lost his way in the dark? Or did he encounter something beyond human understanding? The lack of physical evidence leaves the door open to speculation. One theory suggests Valentich may have been intercepted by a military aircraft. Some claim that unidentified radar contacts were seen in the area that night, though this has never been confirmed. Could he have flown into a restricted zone? Was he escorted or forced down? If so, why no wreckage? And why no admission from defense officials? Decades later, no documents have surfaced to support this idea, but in the absence of facts, theories grow. Another possibility is that Valentich experienced a psychological break. He was young, under pressure to succeed as a pilot, and deeply fascinated by the unknown. Could the isolation of night flight, combined with his imagination, have triggered a hallucination? Some psychologists suggest that sensory deprivation over dark water can lead to altered states of perception. What he described may have been a mental projection, real to him, but not physically present. The metallic noise could have been radio interference or a mechanical issue he misinterpreted. The sea itself may hold the answer. Bass Strait is deep, with powerful tides and underwater canyons. If the plane crashed, it could have sunk rapidly and been buried under sediment. Metal fatigue, fuel exhaustion, or a sudden mechanical failure could have caused a fast descent. Without a distress call, it would have been over in seconds. In this version, there's no mystery, just a tragic accident lost to the ocean's depths. But without wreckage, this remains a theory, not a fact. Frederick Valentich's fascination with the unexplained adds another layer. He wasn't just a pilot, he was a seeker of mysteries. He read about UFOs, discussed paranormal events, and seemed drawn to the edge of the known world. Some believe he wanted to be part of something bigger. Could he have staged the entire event as a way to vanish, to escape his life? If so, he executed it flawlessly, and remained silent forever. But again, the risk of death in such a stunt is enormous. Most hoaxes don't involve real planes and open ocean. To this day, no one knows what happened. Did Valentich crash? Was he taken? Did he fly into a phenomenon we don't yet understand? Or did he disappear on purpose, leaving behind a legend? The final transmission, the metallic scraping sound, remains unexplained. It doesn't match any known aircraft noise. It doesn't resemble wind or engine failure. It sounds artificial, deliberate, and it was the last thing the world heard from him. The Bass Strait remains quiet. The waves roll on. Pilots still fly that route. But whenever a strange light is seen in the sky or a radio glitch occurs, someone remembers Frederick Valentich. His story has become a modern myth, a cautionary tale, a mystery, a symbol of the unknown. Whether it was a simple accident or something far stranger, one thing is certain. On that night in 1978, a young man flew into the dark, spoke of something he couldn't identify, and vanished. Next on Hidden Case Log, the WOW signal. A 72-second burst from deep space that may have been humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. Was it a message from the stars? Or just a cosmic glitch? Find out in the next episode. Subscribe to Hidden Case Log, where mysteries never stay buried.